Huh? Huh? Who's that? Who's there? Who's there? Oh, it's you. Hello. My name is Bernard. Bernard Lhermitte. Or Bernie S. Sanders. Some people call me Grumpy. I think I just like my home and I like my privacy. I don't think I'm that grumpy, really. This is my home. I carry it everywhere. This is my bigger home. I live in the sand. I guess I'm supposed to teach you about something now. I'm not sure what. I guess I can start by telling you what I like. I like shells. I like to hide in them. I like to find bigger ones. I like to find even bigger ones. I like to fight with my friends over shells. And I like to be alone in my shell. Those are all the good things, okay? You might find me in tide pools. Tide pools are when the tide goes. Sometimes in the rocks there's a little hole. It creates like a puddle. It's not a puddle. I don't live in a puddle. I live in a tide pool. Okay? I live in a tide pool. Don't jump in my tide pool. Please be gentle with my tide pool. I live there. You can hurt my shell. And I love my shell. Okay. Is that enough? Did I say enough? Oh, you want more? Okay. My body is not symmetrical. Is that information to you? Symmetry is when you take something and you can cut it in half. I think you know about even numbers. Okay. Imagine like that, but for a shape. So if you have a circle and you can split it right in half, like a pie, and you can cut it down the middle, and you can share it with your friend, and you can share it perfectly with your friend. That's symmetry. I am not that. You cannot share me with your friend. I am my own creature, and I cannot be the same on one side as the other side. That means I'm asymmetrical. Okay. So it's good for me to be asymmetrical because I can go into this nice shell. It's got a big front here. I can cover myself. When I go inside, I can protect myself with my claws. Okay, I'll show you. Oh, this shell is getting a little small maybe, but when I go inside and then you can't see me at all. And I'm just covered with my claws because they're hardest part of me. You know, people think I'm a hard guy, but I'm not. I'm soft inside. I just have a hard shell. I'm soft on my inside, and it lets me be me. When I'm home, when I'm in my shell, I can be soft. When I'm out in the world, I have to protect myself. I have to protect myself. Children, they come and they jump in what they think are puddles. They pick me up. They pick me up. Imagine if a giant just came and picked you up. Aye. So I have to become hard on the outside, but inside I'm soft. Okay. That's enough about me. Do you want to learn about the ocean? My life depends on the tide. The tide is very important. Let's learn about the tide today. Hello. So let's talk about the tide. It's a hard thing to talk about, to tell you about. There's a lot to know. You see, because the tide is not exactly just... It's not a simple science. There's a lot to the tide. Let's learn about it. So the moon is what makes the tide. I think you guys know a little bit about gravity. Gravity is the pull that objects have to the earth. So they get pulled on the earth and they stay there. That's why you don't float away, right? Gravity does that. But gravity is more. There's all sorts of things that have gravity. The moon has a gravity of its own. It pulls things onto itself too, just like the world does. The moon can also pull water. It's amazing, isn't it? The moon can pull water, but not just like if you're having a bath. If you're having a bath, the moon will not pull your water away. Oh, you're silly. Oh, it needs big water, big water, like the ocean. So, in most places, not everywhere, in most places, we have a high tide and a low tide 2 times a day. And it changes every day. Isn't that amazing? It changes every day just a bit, and after 28 days, it will be back on its pattern again. So it goes with the schedules of the moon. Just like every 28 days we'll have a full moon. It's kind of like that. But the water is pulled with it. It's a complicated subject, I know. When we find a nice low tide and a nice high tide, this happens 2 times in the month, that we get a nice low tide and a nice high tide. Sometimes the high tide can surprise us. It's big all of a sudden and we didn't know. Or it's so low and we can find so many cool things. I really encourage you all to go outside and find out about the low tides. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We can see lots of my friends at this time. Lots of them. Because we get little pools. We get little pools left behind. And that's where I live. And that's where my friends live. And we like to find shells. There's snails that live there too. There's something called fairy shrimp. Fairy shrimp. Oh, I got a little excited. Sorry, let me go home. I'm very sorry. Oh, I get very excited about the tide. It rules my life, you know. The moon, it rules my life. It's a beautiful thing. So gravity. Gravity is about pulling and pushing and pulling and pushing. Is there anything that you feel so much like you need to be close to in the world? I feel close to my shell. It's almost like a gravity of its own. I need it. I want to be close inside. Is there a close thing that you have in your world? Maybe a stuffy. Is there a stuffy you have in your home that you feel pulled to? What about a grandma or a grandpa that you can see right now and you miss them a lot? Maybe you're thinking about them and that's your gravitational pull to them. Just kidding. Gravity is more for the planets. But it's a nice comparison, if you know what I mean. Okay. Thank you for joining me on the beach today. I look forward to seeing you again. And have a good one. Have a good week. Have a good day. I'll see you soon, I'm sure. Now let me go back to my shop. Goodbye.